you were a kid, what did you want to be? Did you want to be a millionaire? An international business executive? A policeman? A famous musician, singer, and songwriter on stage with legends like Elton John, Queen, or Oasis? Or maybe an award-winning bodybuilder, a martial arts expert, or a mixed martial arts competitor? Robb Kelly has been all of these things and lost it all to addiction. But there was a bigger plan for him. He has gone on to recover and give hope and help to thousands. He is the founder of AAA New Creations, Spirit Recovery Group, Life Recovery Planner, and the World Recovery Foundation. He has been called the Tiger Woods of recovery. Please welcome Robb Kelly.
Hi guys, my name's Robb Kelly and I'm a recovered alcoholic and addict. How are we doing today, guys? Good. Excellent. I'm a recovered and alcoholic and addict. Recovered is the word. I'm going to tell you a few things today, guys, that you've probably not heard before. I'm going to say a few things that some of you may agree with, some of you may not agree with. The point is that I was forever recovering when I came into the rooms of a 12-step program, whether it be Alcoholics Anonymous or Narcotics Anonymous. For many, many years, I was recovering. I kept coming back, and I nearly died. And it's the reason why I'm stood here today. One of the reasons why I do what I do today, one of the reasons why I'm so far away from home today is I'm sick and tired of watching people die of this disease. I'm sick and tired of watching people die through lack of knowledge and understanding about my disease, the terminal illness that I once had. I'm going to take you through my story because I really need to validate who I am and where I come from. I want you guys to know, whoever's here today and watching these tapes at home, that I've been there and done it, and this is the reason why I'm so passionate, and I'm really passionate about this stuff, guys. I really am. I've been doing this for a long time, and I do it for one reason. It's to make sure that people get from A to recovered as soon as possible. It's a short-term deal, guys. It's not a big-term deal. It's not a long period. So I'm going to tell you about my childhood. I'm going to tell you what it was like, what we are like today, and I'm going to tell you what happened in between. You see, when I came into certain rooms, they told me the reason why I was an alcoholic, and I didn't believe that for a second. I just thought I drank too much. But the reason why I was an alcoholic was because of my upbringing. It's because of the child abuse. It was because my parents were unemployed. It's because my dad drank too much. It was because of the Vietnam War. It was because of none of those. The medical fraternity is still baffled today with alcoholism and addiction. How can we treat drug addiction with a drug? We can't do it. So we have to look at the problem, and the problem really is me. Now, let me take you back to the beginning, guys. In the early days, there's certain things about my schooling. My schooling was great, it really was. And there's certain things about that schooling that stick out in my mind, and I don't know whether they're resentments or not, but I'm going to tell you about them because some of you might identify with this silly thing from my past that so many years on, I still remember today. Them silly things were, I was always the last person to be picked for the soccer team. Welcome everybody to the book study that we're going to be studying this morning. We're going to look at the only book that I know with the true programming, and that's the book of Alcoholics Anonymous. And we're going to start from the beginning and work through. Let me put a few ground rules down on what we usually stick to. We usually read 8 pages a day through this study, and the reason why we do that is we're looking for certain words within them pages to make sure that we get the true message home. What we're looking for is we're looking for must words. Things we must do to recover from our illness. Words like necessary, need, vital, they're must words. We're also looking for messages, what the authors want us to read and fully understand. Most of them are in italic writing, but we're going to point some of them out as we go along today. We're also looking for promises. These are ironclad promises from the book. that guarantee that we can recover from our disease. And we're also looking for higher power words, because as we know, this is a spiritual journey, and no human power can relieve us of our alcoholism or addiction. But our higher power could and would if he was sought. If we don't understand certain words when you're going through the book, we ask that you look up in a dictionary what them words mean. And I'll give you an example. In one of the steps we'll talk about later, it talks about handing my will and my life. I thought that was my willpower. Will means choices. So when I hand my choices and my life over to a higher power, that makes sense. So if there's any words that we don't understand, we need to be looking in a dictionary exactly what they mean. There's no right or wrong way to do this, guys. If you don't have to see every message or promise or must words, it's about reading the book. And the reason why we do it in this way, from the thousands of people that we've worked with already, is it gets you a full understanding of the book and a full knowledge of your condition. And that's the primary purpose of this book study. Why are we alcoholic or addicts? Are we? Is one of the questions the book actually asks, starting on page 20. Are we the alcoholic, the real alcoholic it talks about? If we are, then all the things we're going to look for in the next 3 hours is primary purpose to our recovery. You see, if you're not the real alcoholic or addict, you don't have to do this, guys. You don't have to follow these principles. But if you are the real deal, as it says in the book, then this is what we're looking for. It opens the book up, it makes us read the book, and it gets a full knowledge of our condition. So guys, I'm going to start forward to the first edition, which is XIII. I'm just going to read myself the first paragraph there, which will open the book up to you. It says, we of Alcoholics Anonymous are more than 100 men and women who have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. Here's what we're looking for, guys. Here's a message and a promise in the book to start us off. To show other alcoholics precisely how we have recovered is the main purpose of this book. It then goes on to say, in another promise and a message, for them we hope these pages will prove so convincing that no further authentication will be necessary. Necessary being a must word. We think this account of our experiences will help everyone to better understand the alcoholic. Many do not comprehend that the alcoholic is a very sick person. That's what we need to understand. As we look through that, it says this book will show us precisely how they have recovered, therefore precisely how we can recover. Welcome to the program. It's a 2-day program. I'm going to go through steps 1 to 5 first of all. I'm going to ask you, have you fully marked your book as we requested?
Yes, I have.
And have you marked out the must words, the messages, the promises, and your higher power words?
In 4 different colors.
So therefore, we know by reading the book, we get a full knowledge of our condition. And you know that you have self-diagnosed yourself as being alcoholic, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So from now, we're going to go into some reading, and then we're going to go into the step program itself. Let me start off first of all by explaining what we're going to do. I'm going to read first of all just to get us into the mood, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go through step 1, which is down to me, and you're going to be listening. I'm going to ask you to relax and not follow me in the book. Step 2 will be down to me. Step 3 will be down to both of us. Step 4, I'm going to read as well, and then we're going to revert to the sheet, which is our resentment sheets. And we fully understand that because we've read the first 164 pages. We have a full knowledge of our condition and what we need to do in step 4. We're going to break while you do your step 4 resentments, and then we're going to come back and some more reading will take place. And then step 5 is totally down to you explaining your resentments to me, and I'll explain fully the format, what we need to do. I'm going to ask you just to relax and take it easy. Just try and listen to the words. We've read this 1,000 times before, we know that, but the understanding now that we're at the point, the crossroads and the jumping off point that we was, the program itself said that it's guaranteed. They use words like specific, precise, exact ways to recover. They use words like how to solve the drink problem, and they use words that mean to us that this is a guaranteed program. It says in step 12, having had a spiritual awakening. So by step 12, we've had that awakening. That will happen It's happened thousands of times before for me personally taking people through. So this is the 2 days that's going to be phenomenal. It's going to change you as a person, because really we know that it's not about alcohol or about drugs. It's really about me if I was doing the program. So it's really about you and how we change. So once again, just sit back, relax as I start reading. He says, we are more than 100 men and women, now thousands, possibly millions, who have recovered from a seemingly hopeless state of mind and body. To show other alcoholics precisely how we have recovered is the main purpose of this book. We hope these pages will prove so convincing that no further authentication will be necessary. As we move to page 58 in the book, this is where step 1 starts. Step 1 says that we admitted we were powerless over alcohol and that our lives had become unmanageable. From today, you are no longer powerless over alcohol. Alcohol has no power over you from today. That's what the book and our reading and a full knowledge of our condition tells us. Step 1 reads, rarely have we seen a person fail. Rarely means extreme, seldom, exceptional. I have never seen a person fail, but the book chooses to say rarely. So we say rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Those who do not recover are people who cannot or will not completely. Completely means brought to an end. Give themselves to this simple program. Usually men and women who are constitutionally means unable to grasp, incapable of being honest with themselves. There are such unfortunates. They are not at fault. They seem to have been born that way. They are naturally incapable of grasping and developing a manner of living which demands rigorous means very strict honesty. So already we're talking about honesty. It's an honest program. If you're honest with yourself, then you can be honest with the program. And through the book study that we've done together, we both begin to find that we are being honest, because really it's about me and it's really about you now you're doing this.